Coming up on the Saturday Scouting Report, Norco uses a field goal in the final moments to edge Rancho Cucamonga. A muddy quagmire could not slow down Centennial against Chaparral. Vista mows over Charter Oak. Santiago and Upland play another instant classic. Heritage hammers La Quinta. The Rancho Verde does it again, winning on the road at Elsinore. Defending champion Kaiser tops Paloma Valley. Riverside Poly's playoff run comes to an end against Colony. San Gorgonio is too much for Tockwitz. And Moreno Valley knocks off Serrano. All that coming up on the show, brought to you by Hardy Homes and Estates. When you list with Hardy, start packing. Check out the website, askhardy.com. Well, it's time to clean up the quarterfinals and look ahead to the semis. I got your back, and the show starts now. Welcome to HS Game Time. I'm Pep Fernandez. Plenty of great highlights coming your way as we push ahead to the CIF semifinals. None bigger than in the Inland Division, where Vista will be taking on Norco. The Cougars had to get past Rancho Cucamonga in the quarterfinals. Norco was leading 20-7 in the fourth quarter when things got a little dicey for the Cougars. Angel Matute to Khalil Mohammed for Rancho Cucamonga. Then it's Chase Stevens with a Rancho Cucamonga touchdown. So now it's 20-14. Later in the fourth, Matute connects with Ethan Pulley as Rancho Cucamonga was driving downfield looking for the go-ahead score. And here it is. Blake Fisher hauls in the TD as Rancho Cucamonga goes on top 21-20. Just a couple minutes to play, but plenty of time for Norco. Alec Burr, the big run here for Norco, and then it's quarterback Victor Viramontes to Angel Mota. The Cougars drive to the doorstep and sets up Wes Korber for the field goal. It's all good. Norco goes on top 23-21. Just a few seconds left on the clock for Rancho Cucamonga, but Norco hangs on to win a wild game. 23-21 the final score. The Cougars are headed to the semifinals.
I said this isn't going to be the last game that I play with all my seniors. That's the only thing that's going through my mind. Then make it, that's it.
Norco will get Vista Murrieta. The Broncos rolling past Charter Oak in the quarters. Already up 17-zip in the second quarter. QB Colton Gerhardt finds Jamie Nunnally for the touchdown. 24-nada. The Vista Murrieta defense also turning up on Friday night. Quasi Meshack making house calls. Pick 6 time. Meshack puts Vista Murrieta up 31-zip. Later in the second, what's all the buzz about? Well, it's this dude, Buzzy Bolton, wreaking havoc on the Broncos defense. Tackle for the loss, sack, and how about another sack? All on the same series for that Broncos defense. Vista Murrieta looking to pad its lead before the half. Gerhardt over the middle to his big target, Nunnally, down to the doorstep, and Gerhardt takes it from there. Get in there. Vista Murrieta stomps Charter Oak 52-7. Now it's on to Santiago versus Upland. These two teams played earlier this season with the Scots winning by 1 in overtime. Third quarter, Tyler Helinski to Nathan Tilford, and Upland goes up 16-3 on that touchdown. But later in the third, Santiago quarterback Blake Barnett scrambling on 3rd and long to keep the drive alive. And very next play, Barnett to Brendan Bixler. And Bixler will do the rest, taking it in for the touchdown. And the Sharks are back in this thing, trailing 16-9 after the score. Later in the third quarter, Barnett scrambling once again, calls his own number, and he'll take this in for the touchdown. And we are all tied 16-16. Still in the third quarter, Upland strikes back. Tilford on the 1-yard touchdown as the Scots go back on top 23-16. So now we fast forward to the fourth quarter. Jordan Villasenor breaks off the long touchdown run for Santiago. And we are all tied again. Still in the fourth, Tyler Helinski trying to bring his team back. The TD pass to Trevor Wright, and Upland is back up 30-23. On the ensuing drive, first play from scrimmage, the Sharks strike back. Barnett, 80 yards to Jordan Huffman on this touchdown pass play. The point after, though, was no good. So Santiago is trailing 30-29, and that's how this one finishes. The Sharks lose by a single point for the second time this season. Now it's Centennial colliding with Chaparral. A little bit muddy out there, I guess you could say. Husky sophomore J.J. Taylor making some big plays against Corona in the regular season, and he kept it going against the Pumas. Hi, I'm J.J. Get to know me. 25-yard gain right there. Then it's beats by Trey. Trey Watson beating the Chaparral defense for the first touchdown of the game. Would muddy conditions slow down mighty Centennial? I don't know, is Miley Cyrus perfectly normal? Not a chance. Ya boy Webb, Robert Weber to Barry Ware for the 80-yard TD strike, 14-zip Huskies. The mud would slow down the running game a bit, but Centennial would keep it in the air. Weber, ya boy Webb to Ware for the first down, and then it's Weber to Grayson Bankhead for the touchdown. Centennial goes on to win 49-14. So here are your brackets for the Inland Division semifinals. Norco versus Vista Marietta, the matchup everybody has wanted to see all season long, and Upland will get a crack at mighty Centennial. Now it's on to the Central Division, where the Rancho Verde will meet Kaiser in the semifinals in a rematch of last year's championship game. The Mustangs traveled to Elsinore in the quarterfinals, a place where they won to open the season. Jacob Guglielmana gets it cracking for the Tigers. Big run here that would set up an Elsinore field goal attempt, but Quinton Hemphill comes flying in and blocks the kick, so it remains scoreless. Later in the first quarter, Keyshawn Slaughter, hashtag the Green-Eyed Dragon, 13 yards on this carry in the mud. That sets up the Sharon Jones to Tyler Washington touchdown, 7-zip. The Rancho Verde. Now to the second quarter. The Mustangs stop Elsinore on 4th and inches on the 14-yard line. So the Mustangs are back in business on offense. Jones to Kier Williams. The Rancho Verde driving. And then it's the Green-Eyed Dragon. Slaughter with a 20-yard touchdown scamper. 14-zip Mustangs in the lead. Later in the second, Jones hits Cedric Peterson for the touchdown right there. The Rancho Verde goes on to win 42-7. Meanwhile, the Kaiser Cats were taking on Paloma Valley in the quarters. DeMarco Pruitt, you can do it! Pruitt with a 70-yard touchdown run, and the Wildcats strike first against the Cats. Kaiser, though, looking to answer. Cats on offense, Raymond Padilla going downfield, but there's Michael Valencia coming down with the interception for Paloma Valley, so the Wildcats take over. Quarterback Brent Bohm in the offense looking to strike again. Bohm on the run. He's hit by Kaiser's Matthew Restrepo, and the ball is scooped up by Fernandez Cole, who takes it to the house, and the Cats are back. Now it's Paloma Valley's turn. Bohm dumps it off to Pruitt, shakes off a couple would-be tacklers, and Pruitt takes it to the Kaiser 10-yard line. That would set up this. Pruitt going in for the touchdown, and the Wildcats are back in front 14-7. Pruitt had a monster game for Paloma Valley, right up the middle, splits through traffic, and Pruitt bolts 59 yards for his third touchdown of the first half. Wildcats in control 21-7. Kaiser down, but certainly not out. If you have Raymond Padilla, you're always in the game. Everybody loves Raymond. An incredible touchdown run by the Cats quarterback. Kaiser would come back to beat Paloma Valley. Wesley Lewis coming up with the INT. The Cats win 41-35. Heritage on the road at La Quinta. The Blackhawks had no answer for the Patriots. Quarterback Brett Virgil to Erod. Evan Rodriguez on the touchdown. The Virgil to Erod combo works again. Rodriguez breaking hearts and breaking tackles down the sideline and in for the touchdown. Oh, La Quinta didn't even know what hit him. Heritage roared out to a big lead and never looked back. Lima Haifo with a huge run right there. He finished with 272 yards on the ground, and that would set up a Heritage touchdown. The Patriots also brought their defense to the desert. Matthew Palmer, welcome to Palmer Island, climbs the ladder and plucks his first of 2 picks in the game. Virgil only 3 times passed, and all 3 were touchdowns. Virgil 2.0 finds Chris Nile for the touchdown. Heritage dropping the hammer in this one. Here comes Palmer with his second INT of the contest. He now has 9 on the season, ranking him as one of the state leaders, tied for 3rd in all of California. Now it's Heritage from its own 9-yard line. Hefo, please don't hurt him. Rewind that back. Check it out. Big hit from Hefo on this run. He then goes 91 yards all the way to the house as Heritage rolls past La Quinta 42-12. Riverside Poly taking on Colony of Ontario. The Bears picked up their first playoff win since 2007 last week against Summit. Tied at 28 at the half, and here's the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter. Devontre Hill breaks off the long touchdown run, and the Bears go back out in front 35-28. Colony would waste a little time to respond. Quarterback Josh Thompson hits Kyle Curry, who weaves in and out of the Poly defense and takes it to the end zone. So we're all tied again, 35-35. Now it's Poly punting on fourth down later in the third quarter, but the Bears dip into their bag of tricks. Quentin Johnson picks up the first down for Poly. But later on that drive, the Bears, with a costly miscue, they turn the ball over and Colony recovers. Evan Tilliard, though, and that Bear defense trying to keep it a tied game. Nice play there by Tilliard. Later, Poly back on offense. It's quarterback Chandler Drakeslin airing it out to Akili Ross like a boss, hauls in that catch, but the Bears come up empty on that drive. Meanwhile, Jesse Ibarra and Karan Lowe coming up big time for that Bears defense. Remember, it was still tied at this point, but Colony later would drive down and boot a fourth quarter field goal to take a 38-35 lead on Riverside Poly. On the next possession for Colony on offense, it's Thompson to Curry. Again, huge gain here. Riverside Poly was needing a stop to get the ball back, but Colony drives down the field and they cap off the drive with a touchdown. Colony defeats Riverside Poly 45-35. So here are the matchups for Friday. It's the Rancho Verde getting Kaiser, a rematch of last year's title tilt, and Heritage will hook up with Colony. In the Eastern Division, we've got a pair of great all-local semifinal contests. Top-seeded San Gorgonio is moving on to the semis after taking down Tahquitz. The Spartans driving early in this one. Dante Finney with the run for San G down to the Titans' goal line. That would set up this. Tahir Rashid Mills backpedals in for the score. Moonwalk, 6-zip San Gorgonio. Later in the first quarter, San G driving again. Rashid Mills to Taja Muhammad for the nice gain. And later, Wesley Hill getting the call. Get in there! 12-0 San Gorgonio on top. Now it's Tahquitz with the ball. Derek Peters, the great bobbling catch here on the sideline. And then it's Nolan Valdez to Ty Davis. The Titans knocking on the door of a touchdown, and they would punch it in. So Tahquitz makes it 12-7. Back to San G now. Rashid Mills to Isaiah Dunn for the completion. Spartans driving once again. And that would lead to this. Ramses Herrera booting the field goal to make it 15-7. Spartans on top. Tahquitz would answer with a field goal of their own to make it 15-10. The Titans were leading 17-15 when Rashid Mills finds Nathan Meadors for the 41-yard score with just 9 seconds before the half. So the Spartans go up 22-17 at the break. Third quarter now, it's Rashid Mills to Alvin Bibbs. San G outscored Tahquitz 21-zip in the second half. San Gorgonio wins 43-17. Now it's Moreno Valley squaring off with Serrano. My boy Ted Watkins rocking the shorts. Man up. The Vikings defense also turning up again. Freddie Gonzalez, Joseph Kinney, and Kevin Mietzenheimer all part of that stop. Later in the first quarter, the Vikes strike first. Amos Murphy, famous on HS Game Time. Moval goes up 6-zip on that touchdown from Murphy. The Vikings with the ball later in the first, but they turn it over to Serrano. So the Moval defense coming to the rescue here. Gonzalez owning that line. Great tackle right there. And then with Serrano's quarterback on the run, Andre Phillips chases him down, and Phillips has the sack. Second quarter, Moval punting. Serrano gets the block, and they are in great field position. The Diamondbacks would capitalize. The double reverse leads to their first and only touchdown of the game. The Moval defense is red hot as the Vikings take out Big Bad Serrano 19-7, the final score. So here are the semifinal games. San Gorgonio versus Norte Vista. The Braves beat Oak Hills 47-38 in the quarters, and Moreno Valley gets Citrus Hill. The Hawks took care of Apple Valley 24-20. And in the East Valley Division, Jurupa Hills will travel to Western Christian in Upland, while Big Bear will battle St. Margaret's. And please join us on the Blitz live at 5:30 this Wednesday as we'll break down all of the CIF semifinal games. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you next time on HS Game Time.